Well, there's been quite a reaction, I should say, Leah, from the tech industry on Trump's executive orders. So what have you seen online?
Well, there's been a strong reaction across many professions. Something interesting that we found was across the political cartoonist spectrum, too. We have this one here from Miguel saying possibly more than words can at the moment. But the tech industry, like we were talking about on Sunday now, have taken words to the next level and are actually saying that they're going to indeed fund some of their employees. The co-founder and CEO of Uber, the taxi driving service, Travis Kalanick, saying that he will indeed pay his employees who are impacted by this ban, and has put out this Google Doc here for drivers to fill out so that they can actually be paid while they are outside of the United States trying to come back. And Airbnb has a similar offer going on. They are asking people around the world to volunteer their homes. So you can actually go on Airbnb and host people who are impacted by this ban. We spoke to one woman who is afraid she won't be able to go back to the United States and is stuck in Malaysia. She sent us this video earlier today.
My name is Ragdan Ursud. I am a Sudanese citizen and I'm also a permanent resident of the United States. I have been living and working in Washington, D.C. for the past 3 years. 2 weeks ago, I came to Malaysia for a family vacation, and I was surprised to hear that I can't go back. People who have left the States with student visas, work visas, and green card holders were not allowed back in. When I first heard the news, I disregarded it because it sounded like utter craziness. It took me almost a day to fully process what this means to me and many others. I feel rejected, I feel stranded, disrespected, and angry to be suspected as a terrorist. I am going back to Washington, D.C. on Thursday, and I don't know what to expect or even how to prepare for it.
On Sunday, we also covered a petition started out of the United Kingdom to keep Donald Trump from going to the United Kingdom on an official state visit to meet with Queen Elizabeth. Yesterday, there were about 250,000 signatures. Today, more than 1 million signatures. There just needs to be 100,000 for Parliament to take this and debate this issue. So it's something that we'll have more updates for you as the week goes on. But if you have any comments, we would love to hear from you. You can get in touch with us with the hashtag AJNewsGrid.
Genevieve on Facebook saying you're all welcome to Canada. This event does not reflect the thinking of Canadians. I wonder if what she's saying actually reflects what you've been seeing online when it comes to this story, Leah.
Well, like Justin was saying, there's a very strong conversation going on online across all social media platforms. The hashtag Quebec shooting and Quebec attack are also trending, also being used in French. So this is a very multicultural conversation going on online. Many just disgusted at the hate here. Enrico saying that hate only breeds more hate. Marie using the hashtag Pray for Quebec, saying that her heart is simply broken. Steffi here, though, is touching on the tone that we covered even on the news grid yesterday with the excitement of Canadians in regards to Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister's response to accepting refugees. And Steffi saying that yesterday she was proud to be Canadian. Today, she's disappointed. So quite a different sentiment there going on just in the last 24 hours. London, however, has started a hashtag as well out of that city. Hashtag London stands with Muslims, trying to build international solidarity. And another hashtag that I saw in French, Je suis musulman, I am a Muslim. So a very deep and ongoing conversation with a lot of sadness, confusion, and a lot of people just wanting to help and give their sentiments. It's something that we would like to hear your opinion on as far as what conversations you've been seeing on social media. You can comment and connect with us with the hashtag AJNewsGrid.
Following a story that's off the grid and it's out of Romania, our social media producer Leah Harding following that for us. What are you seeing, Leah?
Well, Doreen, more than 50,000 people protested across many cities on Sunday in Romania against the government's plan to free prisoners. It was one of the largest anti-corruption rallies so far. Here are some pictures and video from it for you. The government says that it's trying to ease prison overcrowding by pardoning those convicted of certain types of corruption and shortening sentences to the elderly and those with children. The plans were unveiled earlier this month by the Social Democrat government. President Klaus Iohannis is a part of the opposition party and has opposed the measure. The premier in favor of the pardon said the protests had been politicized and criticized, for the president since he was taking part in similar protests a week ago. These are pictures of the president. I've been speaking to many of you who've been at these protests, including Adrian here. He's a student in Bucharest. And I also was speaking to a young man named Ahlen who sent me this video explaining why he thinks these protests are so important.
Romanian President Klaus Iohannis attended the protests last week. This is a good political strategy for him because the controversial ordinances were issued by the Social Democratic Party, his political rivals. However, people are starting to protest Iohannis' presence there as well because he's turning civic protests into political ones. The protests in Romania are very useful because they showcase the unprecedented levels of civil mobilization taking place in the country. More than 50,000 people came out yesterday in Bucharest to protest, and more than 100,000 people came out in the entire country. The protests mark the emergence of civil society as the key actor in the fight against the government's abuse of power and corruption.
Critics say the proposal to free prisoners would benefit party allies convicted of corruption. Romania's top prosecutor has criticized the plan. So has the European Commission, saying that it's concerned about the plan, saying Romania has a history of, quote, regular attempts to modify the laws incriminating corruption, often without consultation. The Ministry of Justice held a public debate on these two initiatives on Monday, though some reports say the media were not invited to attend. This is a story that was pitched to us from social media using the hashtag AJNewsGrid. You can use that hashtag too, or you can write to me directly at Leah Harding AJE. We would love to hear from you as these protests continue.